Hello and welcome to the September 2016 State of the Unity Address. I'm Sheila Applegate, author of Enchanted One and the founder of Be Awesome, Your Guide to Conscious Living. I began doing the State of the Unity addresses back in 2012 as people were navigating the transitional energies of that time. I have a long history of being a spiritual channel and being able to open my consciousness and place my attention on higher frequencies to draw in guidance and information. I have not been doing the State of the Unity addresses for quite some time as I shifted my attention from bringing forth messages from the higher frequencies for others to helping people bring forth their own messages. I've dedicated my time over the last couple of years to the Be Awesome program, which actually helps people to tap into their own frequencies and intuition and be able to have that same vast knowledge, because I believe that the more people who can tap into this vastness of extended knowledge and energies of love, the brighter our world will be. So why am I coming to you today with a new State of the Unity address? I'm coming today because once again we're in some very turbulent energies. We've been moving through some transition time and being housed here in the United States especially, but especially isn't even the correct word because this is all over the world, but my perspective in the human level is from this space. And with our election coming up and some of the energies that have come forth in the world, we're experiencing what I see as a drawing out of anger and fear and sadness and doubt that have been buried within the earth for a very long time. Bringing something to the surface is always a good thing, even though it feels turbulent, but that's where we can allow for the greatest healing. So this week, there's been a tremendous amount, a big, huge wave of that energy, and everyone that I have connected with this week has been experiencing the same turbulent energy and difficulty getting their bearing and staying centered. The people that I work with and connect with on my daily life are the people who are dedicated to holding the center and transmuting energy for the world. So when I see the turbulence in these people, then I know that it's a ripple that many, many people are experiencing at this time in our lives. So I was instructed this morning to shift my attention and bring a message forth for everyone, including myself, because I'm one of those people who is dedicated to holding the center and spends much of my life dedicated to not only being in that conscious oneness, but helping others to do the same. And I'm feeling the intensity of the energy this week. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift my attention, I expand my attention to include the energies beyond my physical consciousness and the frequencies that I communicate with, the energy that I will be drawing from, I call Solara. And the description of what this energy is, as it was given to me, is the Alpha and the Omega in one voice of harmonic union. So Alpha being the male energy and Omega being the female energy or the God-Goddess energy. So all that is in harmonic union in one voice. I ask that you listen to the words and feel the vibration, regardless of where I place my attention or what I call this energy. Listen for the resonance with the message, and if it feels as if it resonates with you, then allow it into your perspective and allow it to guide you through this time. I expand my attention now with pure and unconditional love, with the intent of the highest good for all concerned. And in this space, I expand to include that vibrational frequency that I know as Sola Ra, the harmonic union of Alpha and Omega in one voice, that Sola Ra may speak through me. And I give thanks. Beloved ones of earth, those of you who walk on this sacred land during this time, we can feel your hearts aching. We can feel the fear rippling from your centers. We see the flickering ember of hope within you, and the feeling that it is being smothered by the smoke of harshness. But we say to you, hold steady in your truth. Place your attention on the flickering flame of hope. Allow those embers to grow within you. Do not place your attention on the despair. Unless you place it there with love and hope. Wrap the despair and the fear and the doubt and the cynicism with love and hope and grace and truth. It is difficult at this time not to be distracted by the rising of emotions that come from the depth of our earth. Yes, like oil bubbling up from within her. Is she not sacred and beautiful? Is she not alive and vibrant? Is she not a soul with you in oneness? For truly she is. And that earth frequency has absorbed for many generations those emotions that were deemed unworthy of expression. The anger was buried. The fear was buried. The doubt and the sadness and the grief buried in an attempt to move forward. This world that we know has many cycles of war and peace and war and peace and war and peace, but peace has been fleeting in every moment. The vibrational frequency of battle has just moved itself around this planet. It has not released or removed or evolved. And yet the souls who live here, you beautiful, beautiful souls, you are evolving. You have reached a point where you can see the cycles. That is a beautiful thing. You've reached a point where you can see through history the repetitive patterns of obstruction, submission, and control. And you know that this does not work. And yet, as you look upon it now, it looks like a giant mountain too high to traverse. How can you make an impact? And then the anger comes, and any attempt that you have seems to be met with dismay. But there is more to this picture, my beloved ones. The shifting from that dismay, from the feeling of exhaustion and overwhelm, into the attention of hope and the vision of what is beyond. When your eyes begin to awaken, as many, in many ways across the world are doing now, one of the first instincts is to want to make the rest of the world see what you are now seeing. When truths rise to the surface and you begin to see things in a different light, you want to shake the others and say, why are you not seeing this? But the beautiful thing about our oneness and our world and the reflection that we have in the multitude of beings on earth is that each person has a unique perspective and sees one piece of the picture. We have been struggling with this from the beginning of time. For when you are in the entity of humanness, when your perspective is stuck in that level, it is hard to remember that you are one cell in a whole being. Perhaps we can equate this to cancer in the cells of a body. What is cancer then but a cell that remembers something must be done, that it has a purpose, but does not remember that its harmonic union with the cells around it is the answer to that purpose. And so it strives and it strives and it calls people to it. It calls other cells to get on board with its new founded frequency, its independence, and a tumor forms. So we can equate that to the world right now, but that is not wrong. Even as you have been battling the cancer, we cannot battle this desire to see more, to enlighten others. It is part of the path to true enlightenment, true understanding. So we honor it and we love it. And those of us who remember, we commit ourselves to staying in the frequency of love, for that truth is beyond all other truths. That truth is beyond all other truths. That truth, love. Love, the frequency of love, not limited to the human expression of conditional love, but the true essence of what is harmony with all that is. Love as a frequency of remembering the harmonic union of all that we are. That is the truth. So the truth that is awakening as one sees through illusions is a truth. But it is still only one step towards the ultimate truth. So we love and we pour our love onto those who are taking that step, who are willing to experience the pain and the grief and the sadness, who are desiring to act upon that with intentions of goodwill, of helping the world move to peace. Believe it or not, every war has been waged with the intention of peace. Now, I am not saying that worlds have not conquered other worlds, or as we would say here on earth, that empires have not conquered other empires with the desire for more and more and greed and greed. But within that, superimposed within that desire is also the desire to spread the truth that they believe. For each empire that has reached out into the others truly on some level believes that they have found the way. And that when they simply get these others to believe, then the world will have peace. But I am here today to tell you, each one of you is correct in your own right. And each one of you is limited in your own understanding. Because to be in human form in this time is to be limited. Until you can place your attention not only on your human form, but on all that you are beyond the human form. Not at your death, but in your life. This is accessible to you now. The answers do not lie within the voice of anger, of fear, of doubt, of aggression, of segregation. The voices do not lie within the figure that you choose to be your leader, nor do they lie within those people who wish to fight against them. For as long as you look outside of yourself for the answer, for as long as you believe that the world is in disarray and that there is no hope, for as long as you believe that, the world is in disarray and there is no hope. But it takes only a few to remember the truth and to hold that space, to see the limitations of the human intention, to see the limitations that no matter what people intend, no matter how much good they believe they are doing, no matter how much they can justify their actions, as long as their actions remain at the human frequency alone. And we are not speaking of religion. We are speaking of energy, of truth, of existence beyond the physical. That has been proven by science as well as explored by spirit. But this is not something that happens at death. It is the remembrance of the physical and beyond in one moment that allows us to transcend this frequency. Whatever path you use, whatever words you use, we call to you now. Not to deny what you are seeing, but to know and to feel and to understand that that seeing, that ability to see that picture may feel enlightened to you. But enlightenment doesn't stop at cynicism. It goes further. It sees that, and it moves to a space of love and non-judgment, and understanding that everyone is doing the best that they can in any given moment. If they could do better, they would, and when they can do better, they will. So today I ask each one of us to turn inward once again, to see what we see in the world, to acknowledge our worldview. Your worldview is important. It is unique. There is no one else in this world that holds the same worldview as you. And that is what makes the oneness expressed through humanness so complex and yet so divine. So today I ask for you to acknowledge your worldview and then to expand your attention in whatever way you know how. And if you don't know how, will the how. Just allow it to lead you. For the energy that is beyond human exists in all of us. And the path to that is within all of us. So as you expand your attention, not only to understand your worldview, but to look upon those worldviews that seem so foreign to you. You do not have to figure them out. Just raise your consciousness as if you were climbing a tree, a giant tree, and the higher up you put your attention, the more insight you have. The more you can see the struggles of each individual, the intentions of each individual, the love and the hope and the flickering flame within each individual. And you place your attention on that, knowing that this answer will never be solved when our attention is limited to the physical human experience. But as soon as we place our attention beyond, we know the beauty, the rippling effect the power of evolution that is within all of us. And in that space we rest and we trust and we hold that. And that becomes the truth of Earth. And so it is. I give thanks to the vibration of Sola Ra, which has spoken here today. I ask that the words and the vibration touch those who are meant to hear and to feel these thoughts and these truths, these insights and these understandings. And I ask that each individual, whatever form, whatever thoughts, whatever reflection they bring to this earth, that each individual feel the grace of the expansion of who they are beyond physical.